And this is good practice, particularly for those of you who missed a quiz problem, and you're going to find out who you are here in a second. On the quiz, you had to find basically what would be side E. So when you have to find a side or an angle, not area, that's something different. When you have to find a side or an angle, what do you use? Law of sines or cosines, right? So which one works on this one? So if you don't know how the law of cosines works, you need to pay close attention. E squared equals 16 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 16 times 10 times the cosine of 53. All of this middle part is the 16s and 10s. On the ends are the e's. E squared cosine E. This can just get typed in exactly like it is. And a couple of you forgot on your quiz that after you get all that typed in and you get this big number, what do you have to do to it?
Square root.
Yeah, don't forget you have to square root that. So second square root, second answer. And for E, I got 12.78.
I got 7.
Anybody match me, or do I have a mistake?
I got it.
You got this? Okay. Now on the quiz, you got to stop there. But not on the practice test, you have to keep going. So now we need to find angle D. How can we find angle D? We've got the law of sines now, don't we? So we'll say sine 53 over 12.78 equals sine D over 10. And so the sine of D equals 10 sine 53 over 12.78. Now be careful, this is going to give you a decimal, right? So what do we have to do? Second sign it. I got 38.68. Is that right or no?
I got 6. 38.68.
Point 66? 68. Now we need angle F. How do we find angle F? We could do the law of sines, but we could also just do what? Subtract from 180, right. Remember, anytime you have two angles, you can subtract from 180 to get the third one. So 88.32. Bryce, does that answer your question? Anybody else have an issue with practice test 2? Something in practice test 2 that didn't get straightened out? All right, practice test 3, this is our last chance to practice. I want to go ahead and do problems in number 1. Those are the ones, remember, that we thought were hard. So we'll do those together, and then I'm going to set you loose, and I'm gonna work individually with the kids who didn't do so well on the quiz. So here we go. A. Wow, this looks a little different. Anybody have an idea? Tim Kelly. The top factors. It's squares. So how does that factor, Tim? Bingo. The top factors, 3 minus sign, 3 plus sign. It's the difference of squares. What are you looking for, Jack? 3 plus sign, 3 minus sign. Now what happens? Now we can cancel. So our answer is 3 minus sine x. Maya Brown mode, does that make any sense to you at all?
Yeah.
Now this one is easier. How do we start this kind? What is cosine is just cosine over 1, right? What's cotangent? Cosine over sine. And this is just sine over 1. Well, shoot. Nothing cancels, does it?
Wait, doesn't the sign, right?
These are added. They cancel when it's an add. So, how could I rewrite that? What does that equal? Cosine squared over sine plus sine over 1. What do I need to do now?
Find the common denominator.
Find a common denominator, Bryce. You're exactly right. I am adding fractions.
Yep.
And if I am adding fractions, I need a common denominator.
Sign.
This one needs to have a sign, doesn't it? So if I multiply top and bottom by sign, so that it has a common denominator, the denominator is sine. What's in the numerator now? Cosine squared plus, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So I have 1 over sine, which gets you full credit, but that's cosecant, which might get you a little bit of bonus credit. That was tougher than I thought it was going to be. What? Cosine squared plus sine squared just becomes 1. That's just 1. Now, I want everybody working on practice test 3. I am going to work individually with some kids here, and I'll answer questions then when I'm done with these kids, okay? All right, Thomas, you can turn that off. Thank you. And I'm going to be calling some of you